Hi, I'm Damon from Joie. I'm going to show you today how to install the Joie iSpin 360. So in independent testing, this is a new category winner, so 5-star safety rearwards facing and 4-star safety overall. So I'm sure you'll agree when you see all the features and how easy it is to use, you can see why it got that great rating. So with the product itself, it can be used from birth. So from 40 centimetres all the way through to 105 centimetres. So that's approximately 4 years old. Now it can be used in the rearward facing mode throughout that entire period. At any point from 15 months it can be used forward facing, again through to 105 centimetres. Now the thing there is, of course, we want to try and maximise rearwards facing for as long as possible. So we can use this well up and beyond that minimum criteria of 15 months, and every extra day is a safer day. So don't be tempted to turn them around as soon as they get to 15 months, try and keep them going for as long as possible. So getting back to the basics of how to install the seat, so quite straightforward. One of the best ways to carry it is with the harness clipped together. So as you're carrying it to the car, we do have a free fall and auto drop leg. So sometimes you'll find as you're carrying it to the car, it can actually be easier just to depress those buttons so you've actually pulled this down and ready. And as you carry it to the vehicle itself, you get it through the aperture of the car, that then will just drop on down and not be overextended to start with. Now the other thing with this is, of course, is connecting it into the car. They're quite a big product, and of course with the roof etc in the way, you can sometimes struggle getting your body in there to clip around on the opposite side. If you are going to try and do it like that, do it in forward facing because you have got enough room to get your hand round etc. But one little tip for you, and that is when we're installing it, just slide the seat slightly forwards, depress the lever here at the very front of the seat, and that will allow us to grab hold of the isofix, and we can get on either side. So it doesn't matter which side of the car we're doing, squeeze that lever and extend it and get it out to its maximum position. And the little tip really is start from this side of the car by clipping on the opposite side. So if you clip that side on first, you see where you're going. You clip that side on, there's no need to clamber over the seat to gain access to it. Once we've done that then, we can clip the near side on. We've clipped and engaged, we can pull it forward so that we know both sides are clipped in securely. And what we then want to do is slide the seat back. So of course if we were using it in the forward facing position, we'll just leave in situ, slide it back so it's in contact with the vehicle seat, and that element of the installation is complete. The next part is setting the load leg. So what we're looking for is no gap or very little gap towards this load leg end, but don't be afraid if the vehicle manufacturer has lifted the isofix at the isofix end and you have got a gap towards the seat here. That's perfectly normal and natural. What we want to do is basically reset this leg, allow it to drop fully to the floor itself, so you'll still see the indicator on the top there is still red, but at this point now we can just pull it down just one more position like so, so that we've now got a good green positive contact with the vehicle floor. That's it, it's installed, it's ready to go. So again, forwards facing, we've got 6 different recline positions that we can use the product in, operated by the lever at the front of the seat shell itself. The product can also rotate in any of those 6 positions, so no need for adjusting to a specific recline to rotate. And we've got the recline lever on the side of the seat. Now, as you can see, there is one on either side, so it does allow very, very easy access for loading. Now, of course, the biggest benefit of this is the fact that it can rearwards face and extended rear face. So the installation in rearward facing mode is basically exactly the same. So if we were installing this into the vehicle, again, we want to make sure that the back of the seat here is against the vehicle seat. So we'd install that and retract that back inwards so that we've gained the contact there. Indicator wise, of course, we're still making sure that the leg is green and that the isofixes are connected fully on. With regards to the product itself, we can still gain access to the recline lever when in rearwards facing mode from that position. But if particularly tight in the vehicle, of course, you can very easily grab the rotate button to swizzle to the side, adjust the angle accordingly, and then rotate back into the rearwards facing mode very simply and easily. Now, one huge advantage with the iSpin was for me, I was an impractical dad with a 3-door car. Now, a lot of the times that would make it very difficult to use extended rear facing products due to access into the vehicle. Now, the beauty with the iSpin is, as it comes out of the box, we find this little switch here. Now what that is there to do is of course encourage and endorse and recommend and really push that 15 months to make sure it's very clear that we can't forward face until we're 15 months or above. So when that's activated, that prevents forward facing use. Now we have the override here for the simple reason of people like me with a 3-door car, we can override it, and that then allows us in that 3-door to gain access, load the child, and then of course spin that child back rearwards facing to the safest possible direction. So very, very easy to still utilise this, whether it's a 3-door or a 5-door, and all your rotating seats give you a huge advantage that in a 5-door vehicle you can of course load with the child straight towards you. So much easier posting the child into the vehicle, and as you get a much older child, say 2-3 years old, when they're asleep, it's a very heavy child to be able to pick up, but at least you're doing it with your back straight up and off you go. So a lot more benefits for yourself as well as of course the child themselves. Now, features wise on this, of course, we've gone through the 6 reclines, we've gone through the easy rotate mechanism, we've gone through the indicators, but one of the real great features here that helped it get such a high safety scoring is the automatic guard surround system. Now that is activated via the harness here. Now with the harness itself, if the buckle doesn't come forward, so basically the system is reset via this buckle coming forward. So as that pops forwards, it's now reset the mechanism here, so that as of course we're loading the child in, and we've made the harness nice and long, we can of course use these great little harness holders as we get a child out, pop them in there, remove the child, and as we go to pop them back in, it's much easier then to get these together, helps prevent twisting and things like that. As we go to tighten the harness, you'll see straight away the guard surround safety system is activated, etc. Now, space requirements in a car. If we've got another child sitting at the side or another adult, we can manually disable this. But what we're always ideally looking for is this to be activated on the door side of the vehicle. Now, a lot of the times this will be close to the edge of the vehicle or touching the edge of the door, etc. That's what it's designed to do, is get it closer to the edge of the cabin to spread the energy into the steel framework that's built within the seat shell itself. Now, in some very, very small cars, we'll find that we won't actually be able to utilise this at all, and that's fine. It just means that the cabin size is quite compact, and of course you've got a very low velocity gain due to a small gap anyway, so we can manually disable that. Now of course, until we release the seat itself and undo the harness like so, these won't pop out again. So as soon as we've allowed that buckle to go forwards, that will allow the activation of the system itself. If we pop that back in there and we don't bring that fully forwards, they still won't reactivate. So make sure you bring that all the way forwards, pop it back to reactivate. So if space is required, you can manually disable those accordingly. Now, the product itself has got 6 different height positions and a 3-stage progressive insert. So of course in the rearwards facing mode is where the insert is used. Now rearwards facing, we've got the head bit. So for most children that will come out somewhere around about 6 months, but it does depend on the child. But once that's there removed, we can still use the body and the wedge system there to help with both body containment and also the angle adjustment to keep them at a nice sedated angle. Now, the body section you'll find with a lot of children would come out somewhere around about 9 months, maybe a year. But again, it's all like an a la carte menu, it depends on the child's size, but that's normally the next one to come out, utilising the wedge for a bit longer to again aid that recline position for the child within it. But at any point from 6 months, all of the insert can be removed if necessary, but we tailor this to be a bespoke unit that we could just use this bit for a bit longer if it's a particularly narrow child, removing the wedge, but basically you will decide how it should work for your particular little one. Now once that's all removed, We can continue growing the child via the adjustable headrest. So a simple lever at the top of the seat shell allows us to adjust and gradually grow for the child as they grow. So we'll basically be using the shoulder as the guider. As the child's shoulder gets level with the headrest, we'll click it up to the next position. We're very, very simple to grow from birth all the way through to basically 4 years old, 105 centimetres. And that's exactly the same, of course, if we're in the rearward facing position, exactly the same growth. No need to refit the seat, etc. We can just continue that growth all the way through. Importantly, removing the seat, again, I would always do it in the forward facing position just because it's a smaller item to actually get back out of the vehicle. The routine for removing your seat is simple again, just the role reversal. So squeeze the lever to start with there at the front, pull the seat forwards, that will lock it into place. We can undo the near side. If we need to, just pull that out, but only about 1 inch. If we pull it out much further and twist the seat, we'll put the opposite side under so much load that it won't release. It'll be doing the job it's designed to. We can get our arm around and through the back like I'm doing now, so we don't have to clamber over it. Squeeze that to actually remove from the vehicle itself. But if we can't reach that, of course, so we can undo one side, allow it to move slightly, keep a hand there, reach over the seat and eject it. Now once we've ejected it, we wouldn't remove from the vehicle until you've depressed this lever at the front and retracted those back. That helps prevent damage to both the vehicle and of course the seat itself. But once you've retracted those back in, we can shorten the leg, get hold of the harness and squeeze that out of the vehicle itself. So very, very easy to install as well as remove if you're swapping from one vehicle to another. So hopefully that gives you all the key features and advantages of the iSpin 360. So thank you.